Okay, so this story takes place on the island of Oahu in Hawaii, on vacation. And I consider myself to be a decent bodyboarder, boogie boarder. However, it's the foam boards you lay on, you paddle out, you go back, you catch a wave, and you ride it in. Not so much good at the standing up and surfing type of surfing, more the bodyboarding. So, in Oahu, and I go to Waimea Falls, spend the day there, and then I decide I'm going to go to Waimea Bay and do a little body surfing. So I get to Waimea Bay, and the surf is high, higher than I've probably ever seen before. Huge swells coming in, 10-foot waves on the regular. Okay. And I start getting my rash guard on, take my little button-up sweatpant things off. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready to go out there. And over the announcing, the announcer over the megaphone, the lifeguard announcer. Yeah, there's announcers at the beach. No, that's called a lifeguard, Tim. That's not an announcer. The lifeguard keeps going over the megaphone saying, do not go in the water. Do not go in the water unless you have years of experience on this beach. And he keeps stressing the fact, years of experience on this beach. But I've done my fair share of bodyboarding over the years, and I do not take this as a warning that I need to take seriously. So I grab my board, strap it onto my wrist, and I head out towards the ocean. As I'm getting out to the ocean, a lifeguard stops me, and he says, look, you can't go in until unless you have fins on. Now, I have fins, but the problem is they're not fins that you would use for bodyboarding. These are fins you would use for snorkeling. Now, the difference, you may ask, well, fin's a fin. No. The fins you would use for bodyboarding and things like that, or boogie boarding, however you want to call it, they're very short fins. And they go on your feet. You just strap them, put the strap around your heel, and they don't really encumber a whole lot. Snorkeling fins, very different. They're long. And as you know, if you've worn them, they're a pain in the ass to move around in. You got to walk backwards into the water. If you try to walk forward, you're flipping sand up in the air and you're tripping over them. They're a pain in the ass. They're not really made for boogie boarding. So he stops me, says I have to have the fins. I tell him, no problem. I'm good. Don't need the fins. I'll be okay. He goes, it's not an option. You have to have fins. The surf is it's a little too crazy right now. You got to have fins on. So I go back to my towel. I grab my snorkeling fins, and I put them on. And, of course, I'm trying to get in the water. I put them on in the water, so it wasn't terribly pathetic, me walking around the beach with flippers on. But it's hard for me to maneuver and turn back around and get into the surf at this point. So I'm stumbling around. The waves are coming in. I'm getting kicked around. I can't get my balance because, again, I'm wearing fins for snorkeling, which are impossible to move around in. So a random person on the beach decides to walk up to me as I'm struggling with these snorkeling fins, and he calls out to me, he goes, hey, I wouldn't go in there if I were you. And I'm getting angry at this point because I'm looking like a flippin' idiot over here with these flippers on my feet, and they're huge, and I can't get any control, and I have no balance, and I'm falling all over the place, and the surf crashing into me is making it 10 times harder and 10 times more annoying. So I look at him, and I go, it's not me. I'm not this bad. it's these stupid-ass big fins. So I take the fins off, and I literally just chuck them all the way by my towel. Don't even get out of the water. So I'm just like, forget it. So I go out there, and I start heading out past the wave break, and kind of getting ready. Now I'm noticing every so often, again, the waves are big, but about every 15 minutes or so, a huge wave comes. All the surf gets sucked out, and a monster wave breaks and just boom, thunderous. And when this is happening, I'm noticing all the locals that are on the beach, even as soon as that surf gets sucked out, they're running up the beach. Again, I'm thinking I'm past the wave line, where it's breaking. Not bad, not a bad spot. So I start catching a couple runs, and they're good. I'm catching these waves. They're sending me in. I'm having a lot of fun. This is not too bad. However, after one of the waves carries me in, I start to head back out. As I'm heading back out, the entire surf starts getting sucked out again. And this time it's huge. And I'm looking over my shoulder, and the locals are all running back into shore. And I'm too far out at this point. I'm kind of at the point of no return. So I'm freaking out, and I can see the wave growing in front of me. And I look back at shore, and there's no way I'm going to make it in. And even if I wanted to make it in, I can't beat the pull of the tide anyways, because it's sucking me out. So I'm in this thing already. I got to go for broke. So basically, I paddle out as far as I can. I turn around, and the wave just picks me up. and as it picks me up, I'm looking down, and the ground is getting further and further away from me. And the people are looking smaller and smaller as I'm looking at them on the beach. And the first thing that goes through my head is, I'm going to break my flipping neck on this wave. And I just hold on to the board. I hug, and I feel my fingers pressing into the styrofoam of the board. I got a death grip on this damn thing. And I'm right on the crest of it. And I'm picking up speed. I'm thinking to myself, I may just make this thing. And all of a sudden, I get pulled all the way to the top, and I go ass over tea kettle. Boom, boom, boom. Tumble, tumble, tumble. I'm in the washing. My head, boom, slams into the sand. I'm immediately dazed. I'm thinking I'm knocked out. And I'm basically dead at this point. This is what I'm thinking. And I'm just getting churned in there. Just next thing I know, I roll up like a pile of seaweed, like way up the beach. I'm over by the lifeguard shack at this point. And I'm dazed. My head's spinning, my ears are filled with water, my nose is filled with water. It's a mess. I barely know where I'm at. So I look up, and I'm opening my eyes, and blurry I can see the lifeguard stand, and I'm noticing everyone who's sitting on the beach is like behind me. So this wave has carried me way up the beach. So I get up, and I'm shaking my head off, and I hear a voice over the megaphone once again, and he's looking at me now, and he goes, again, if you don't have years of experience on this beach, do not go in the water. And at this point, it's clearly directed at me. I have made an ass of myself, And I am horribly embarrassed that I have just been thrown up all the way to the top of the beach. But could be worse. As a matter of fact, it was worse because I went to go back to go find my towel. And as I'm walking back, I look down and I realize I have no swim trunks on. My swimsuit is gone, and I was ripped out of it, and I'm just standing there ass naked in front of a bunch of tourists and locals on the beach. And that is about when my ears stopped buzzing and ringing and laughter started to take its place. So the entire beach laughing at me, naked, standing there by the lifeguard tower after he's just rubbed it in by making another announcement directly in my face as to not go in. So I run back, trying to cover up, back to my little towel. I grab the towel. I'm covering up. I'm trying to put on the sweatpants that I brought. God knows where my swim. I'm not even going to look for it at this point. The embarrassment level is too high. I grab my shoes. I grab the flippers, and I think I had a snorkel or something else there, and the rent-a-car keys. And I start walking back. I'm trying not to look at anybody, and a hand taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around. It's the gentleman from before, and lets me know, "Hey, man, I told you I didn't think it was a good idea of you to go out there." Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm going to go back to the hotel room now and try to forget that this thing ever happened.